Hey everybody, this Prima Games video will give you some map strategies for Zavod 311 in Battlefield 4. Today, we're going to focus on Conquest Large, a very popular game mode but one that seems to be quite overwhelming for some players. With all the objectives, it's easy to lose sight of the objective and become part of the problem rather than the solution. Our video today will show you how to PTFO even if you're not able to squad up. Zavod 311 on Conquest Large is split up into 6 objectives. Close to the Russian spawn you have Alpha and Bravo, something we like to refer to as your home objectives given how close they are to your base. If you spawn on the US side, your home objectives are Foxtrot and Echo. The middle of the map, where the bulk of the action takes place, features Charlie and Delta. Although not a guarantee, if you control the middle of the map, you will generally win the game. Whether you're with a squad that you can communicate with or by yourself, choose 2 objectives and make them your priority for the game. Just be sure that they are your home objectives or the midfield objectives. It's always better to control the objectives close to your base and at the midfield, allowing you to keep your enemy in front of you. If you spawn as the Russians, controlling Alpha and Bravo on Zavod 311 is fairly simple. It can be done without a vehicle if you don't mind getting a little cardio as you run through the forest. Start with Alpha and then move on to Bravo. If both objectives remain secure for a short period of time, feel free to move up to the middle of the map. Of course, if you notice the enemy taking either Alpha or Bravo, go back and secure them. You may not be able to hold these objectives for the entire game, but you can keep the pressure on them, making it more difficult to control and less appealing to the enemy. If you spawn as the US, you should have no trouble taking Foxtrot and Echo. Again, this can be done on foot, but the terrain is much more open, allowing you to easily navigate a vehicle between the two. If you manage to capture and control both objectives for a short period of time, consider moving up to the midfield. Just like we mentioned before though, if you start to lose them, head back and secure them to keep the pressure on the opposition at all times. Now that you have some tips to secure the objectives close to each spawn, let's talk about the middle of the map, or the midfield as we've been calling it. Charlie and Delta are not only the toughest to take, they are also the most difficult to maintain. It will most likely take at least half of your entire team to be successful here, if not more. However, you alone can make a difference. Charlie and Delta are both inside buildings, and taking them will expose you to danger from multiple sides. Of course, you can always find about a dozen soldiers on the rooftops, but they tend to be very useless, so just ignore them. The only place they pose a threat is when you are approaching the midfield. Once you're in the buildings, they tend to leave you alone. Rarely do they come down since they are afraid to lose their vantage point. Of course, if they do mess with you from up there, you can always fire an RPG at them or jump from a helicopter to snag some dog tags. What you definitely have to concern yourself with are the infantry soldiers in and around the ground level of these 2 objectives. That brings us to our top map strategy for Zavod 311. For the most part, you can stay underground. The Charlie and Delta objectives are connected by a tunnel that runs between the 2. Use this tunnel to move back and forth, avoiding not only the bulk of infantry, but also any vehicles in the area. In fact, you can actually secure Charlie without moving up to the ground level. You will encounter some resistance here, but a good squad or even a persistent player can have a real impact on the game. Although our favorite class on Conquest Large is the Engineer, if you decide to focus entirely on Charlie and Delta, you could run with the Assault or even Support kits. Just keep in mind that if for any reason you need to return to your home objectives, the Engineer kit will give you the tools to take out vehicles you encounter along the way. There you have it. By breaking Zavod 311 on Conquest Large down to 3 sets of 2 objectives, you can contribute to your team without getting overwhelmed. Don't worry about your kill-to-death ratio. Just keep a steady pace and put the pressure on the enemy. Not only will you score points, but playing the objective is infectious and will encourage others to follow your lead. For more information on Battlefield 4, be sure to check out the brand new www.primagames.com. If you have a map, game mode, vehicle, or concept that you would like us to cover, use the comments to let us know.